All right, three, two, one. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. I'm so embarrassed. How smart people pick their partners like business deals. Uh, my few thoughts before watching this, I'd say like I believe it'd be way, way better if you just pick them like it's a business deal. Because like you'd know what they have and what you have, like both agree that it's enough for you to work on together before you guys engage in something and finding out later, oh, this person is that great, this person was that great. It's like you would know before what's on the plate before like jumping into the plate and eating. I don't know if you get that. I did a lot of explaining. Uh, let's just go.
What if I told you that successful people choose their life partners the exact same way they choose their business partners? What
Why do you choose a business partner? Did you just go with money, the most valuable one?
if the reason you keep ending up in relationships that drain your energy, waste your time, and
Boundaries and rules usually there to protect your peace. I don't forget to emphasize those news.
leave you questioning your judgment is because you're approaching dating like a romantic comedy instead of like a strategic investment?
To call Yeah, niggas just be getting in there and winging it. Ah, that's so me.
Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit.
So,
Love is not enough. Chemistry is not enough.
yeah,
Good intentions are not enough.
that's like you realize all of that after the honeymoon phase is all over and you're like left with just bare and raw them and raw you. It's like no spark, but you have to work things out. Now imagine if the other person isn't thinking work things out, but thinking "Hmm, something is missing. Gotta look for it elsewhere. Gotta look for. I need the spark back, but they don't think. Gotta work it out and find our own spark. They think, where can I get this spark again? There's someone better. It's like this idea of better options. It's toxic, but it's good. It's like a good bad thing. Whoa, the world is so crap, bro. I'm talking. Oh my lord. Focus.
Successful long term partnerships require the same strategic thinking that successful businesses require: clear objectives,
Okay.
thorough evaluation,
Okay.
defined expectations,
hmm
and the courage to walk away when the numbers don't add up. I'm about to show you why treating partner selection like a business decision will save you years of heartbreak and help you find someone who actually adds value to your life instead of complicating it. By the end of this video, you'll never approach dating the same way again. Here's what happens when you treat choosing a partner like choosing a business partner. You start with a clear job description. In business, you don't hire someone without knowing exactly what role they need to fill and what qualifications they need to have, but
Oh, what role they need to fill and what qualifications do they have? Write that down. Write that down.
in dating, most people
Oh,
just hope someone wonderful shows up and everything works out magically.
I did that with my heart. I just magically hope she feels and works towards being the one, but I don't think her. She thought the same thing, but then, whoa, whoa.
This is insane. You're choosing someone to potentially spend decades with, share finances with, raise children with, make major life decisions with, and you're doing it based on butterflies and good vibes instead of
Oh, yo, stop judging. Oh, now I feel so exposed. It's like it makes way more sense to do it how this person describes it, but whoa, I actually need to implement the system of this.
concrete compatibility factors. Here's what a relationship job description actually looks like. You need someone who shares your core values about money, family, career, and lifestyle.
Okay. The first thing on the role and responsibility that you play. No, I think it's what they have. You need someone who's shares the same value. Oh, I forgot what he said. Oh, I forgot what he said. What does he say?
Decisions with, and you're doing share finance on butterflies and good value looks like. You need someone who shares your core values about money,
Values.
family, career, and lifestyle. Someone
Okay.
whose communication style meshes with yours.
Okay.
Someone whose life goals align with your
Values,
timeline.
communication.
Someone whose
Values, communication, life goals,
emotional maturity matches your own. The psychology behind
emotional maturity. Bro, that's hitting. There's no way you find a person like that easy. I mean, there's a lot of people you'd hit the mark somehow, but damn, that's a lot of scouting. Because like, usually you'd be like three, four, five, six, seven tries and you land someone. Then this one is going to be like close to over 50. Because you'd be talking to them and finding out all these business things. It's tedious, but it's good if you learn someone. But it's going to be so draining.
this approach is simple. Successful partnerships are built on compatibility, not chemistry. Chemistry
I wish.
creates attraction. Compatibility creates lasting satisfaction. You can have
Yeah.
incredible chemistry with someone who makes your life miserable, but you cannot have a
Mhm.
successful partnership with someone whose fundamental approach to life conflicts with yours.
It's so annoying, bro. It's like everything, it's like so polar opposite. You're like, how did I fall here for this person when they're like this? Now you're like, oh, let me hear it one more time.
You can have incredible chemistry with someone who makes your life miserable, but
Mm-hmm.
you cannot have a successful partnership with someone whose fundamental approach to life conflicts with yours. Business partnerships succeed because both parties know
I think it's possible though. It's possible. You just have to walk it through. Walk.
exactly what they're signing up for before they commit. Personal relationships fail because people assume love will overcome any incompatibility. This is
Yeah. It's usually love and a sense of commitment and devotion. So like you'd be trying to make it work. Hmm.
magical thinking that destroys lives. Now, here's where most people get triggered. I'm
Okay.
going to suggest you create an actual list of non negotiable requirements for a life partner, not a
Come on
wish
now.
list,
Okay.
not preferences,
Okay.
non negotiables, the
Okay.
deal breakers that you will not compromise on, regardless of how attracted you are to someone. This
Damn.
makes people uncomfortable because it feels cold and calculating. But
Yeah.
here's what's actually cold: wasting years of someone's life because you knew from the beginning.
If you could go back to your ex and minus the years and never have met them, I would love that, please. Oh my God. Wasting years. I think that you really gotta have to learn to be straight as fuck.
That your life goals were incompatible, but you hoped feelings would change reality.
Oh
Your non
my.
negotiables might include things like wanting children or not wanting children, living in a specific geographic area or being willing to relocate, having similar financial values and goals, sharing religious or spiritual beliefs, having compatible communication styles during conflict. These aren't shallow requirements. These are the foundations that determine whether two people can actually build a life together or just enjoy each other's company temporarily. Here's the business principle most people ignore in relationships: you evaluate performance over time before making major commitments.
Very permanent over time. But then doesn't that mean you'd be in cahoots with this person for a long period of time before determining if they're good for the job? Now imagine 50 people you have to go through, and then it takes like, let's say 1 month with this one, another month with that one. That's a whole year talking stages. Hell no. That's too much tedious shit. No.
In business, you don't make someone a full partner on the first day. You observe their work quality, reliability,
You have to actually observe the person. Yeah. How many people will you be going through, dog? The system is interesting, but it's time consuming. It'd be if there are multiple candidates, you're asking what at the same time, it'd be more efficient, but then that just condones open relationships.
decision making ability, and how they handle stress and conflict. But in relationships, people move in together, get engaged, or make major commitments based on how
Hmm.
someone behaves during the honeymoon phase when everyone is on their best behavior. This is like promoting someone
Yeah, everybody's on their best behavior in the honeymoon phase. Isn't that great? Wonder why it's so nice. Everybody's on their best behavior. Why else?
to CEO based on their job interview performance. The psychology of human behavior is clear. People can
Mm.
maintain a false persona for weeks or even months, but their true character emerges under pressure over time and when they're comfortable enough to stop performing. This
Oh,
is why
and
smart business
performance
people have
stops.
probationary periods. And this is why smart daters have evaluation phases where they observe how potential partners handle real life situations before making serious commitments. Here's what an evaluation phase looks
That's gonna be so me. Oh, I'm gonna be so stress testing like it's Tuesday. How do you handle that? How do you handle this?
like in dating. You observe how they treat service workers, family members,
Serious workers, why do you care about that? I mean, that's just a no-no. But you'll be able to tell from the just personality, you know? Or does it just switch up when it's service workers? Who would be rude to those kind of people? The heck?
and people who cannot benefit them. You watch how they handle disappointment, stress, and conflict. You see how they manage money, time, and responsibilities. You notice whether their actions match their words consistently over months, not
Okay.
weeks. Most importantly,
For months. Bro, that's a lot of time evaluating a single person. Oh, I believe this thing you're gonna be entertaining six, seven people at the same time. Oh my lord. Okay, let's say at best three that you're able to go through and say what okay, these ones are good. But then isn't that just lying to yourself? Okay, let's say we forget all of that and just focus on one person and observe all of these things. Maybe they should be able to do it faster. But then if they're busy, their busyness would get in the way of you doing it faster. Oh, I'm thinking this thing to myself. Is this going to even be posted? I doubt it.
you pay attention to how they respond when you express needs, set boundaries, or disagree with them. Someone's reaction to your boundaries tells you everything you need to know about their character and their compatibility with you. Now, here's the part that makes people really uncomfortable.
Okay.
In business, when someone doesn't meet the job requirements or perform according to expectations,
They get booted. Oh my God. Uh, but then do you just leave them after all of that, after you've committed all of that sunken cost?
you don't try to train them into being a different person. You find someone who already has the qualifications you need. But in
This business like thing is kind of too brutal. Find someone else that does the fucking feeling of the role. Holy damn, that's cold.
relationships, people spend years trying to change partners who are fundamentally incompatible with their needs and values.
Fundamentally incompatible with their needs and values. Oh,
This is like hiring someone who can't do math for an accounting position and then being frustrated when they can't balance the books. The
oh my God.
psychology behind this behavior
It's like so mean. I'm getting exposed.
Is fascinating. People confuse potential with reality. They fall in love with who
Yeah,
someone could become.
like what they could become, what they acted on, and in their good behavior during the honeymoon phase. Uh, yo.
Instead of accepting who they actually are right now. This creates relationships
Mm-mm.
based on hope.
If you do that, you'd be accepting that you're settling for lackluster. Lackluster that you do love, yes, but it's how do we take these things like this?
Rather than evidence. Here's the brutal truth about trying to change people. You cannot love someone into having different values. You cannot patience someone into emotional maturity.
Can't love someone until you cannot patience someone to maturity. Uh, because I knew that, but it's like something they come to on their own. If they don't, I don't think they will. It's like there's a line where like your things fit with them without them affecting you, like a tolerance thing. But it's bound to fail if both parties are not as cohesive. It's like I just need cohesion.
You cannot communicate someone into wanting the same life you want.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, it's not about me. It's not about me.
People only change when they want to change for their own reasons. Your job is to find someone whose existing qualities and goals already align with yours,
Does that person even exist?
not to remake someone into your ideal partner.
It's not remaking. It's like, what is it? It's not remaking. I don't want to remake the whole person. Just tolerate them. God damn.
Here's where business thinking revolutionizes dating.
Tolerate them and their decisions and choices. Yeah.
In business, you clearly communicate expectations from the beginning. You
Oh,
don't hint. You don't
don't
hope
hint.
people will
That would be cool, actually.
guess what you need. You state your requirements explicitly and give people the opportunity to decide if they want the position. But in
Okay.
dating, people are terrified to communicate their actual needs because they think it will scare people away. So they hide their expectations, accept behavior that doesn't work for them, and then feel resentful when their unspoken needs aren't met. This
That is so. Oh, God
is
damn.
self sabotage disguised as being flexible. If
Bro,
clearly stating your needs scares someone away, they weren't compatible with you anyway.
but then there's the dread of having to do the whole looking process. Ah,
You've saved both of you from wasting time in a relationship that was never going to satisfy either person. Here's what honest
hmm.
communication looks like in dating. I want children within the next 5 years. I need someone who shares household responsibilities equally. I require financial transparency and shared money management. I need regular quality time and physical affection. I cannot be with someone who yells during arguments or uses silent treatment as punishment. These aren't unreasonable demands, these are adult relationship requirements. And anyone who can't meet them or doesn't want them should remove themselves from consideration immediately.
Ah,
Now, here's the psychology behind why this approach works so much better than traditional dating. When you treat partner selection like a business decision, you remove the desperation and
but won't this thing kill attraction? No, like it kills affection. Like it's too mundane and boring. Wait, if they get bored by this stuff, aren't they not supposed to be in that role in the first place? Oh my lord. So you're optimizing, try to attract a lot of people, but not optimizing, attracting the right kind of people. It's like you just wanna catch every fish instead of catch a specific fish. You're thirsty for gain. It's like the way you dress up and do your shit and pitch and Freya, like doing cold calls. You're fishing for any fish, not a specific kind of fish. Oh, damn. So you must look for a specific person, not to look for a person.
Scarcity thinking that leads to poor choices. In business, you know there are multiple qualified candidates for any position. You interview several people. You compare qualifications.
Interview several people, compare qualifications. Damn. They're saying, hey, in the beginning, it's all open, open relationship type shit.
You choose the best fit rather than settling for the first person who shows interest.
Yeah, yeah. I picked the first person that showed interest that I liked. That's pretty much how it goes. You pick the first person that showed interest that you happen to like.
But in dating,
But as a guy, you pick the first girl, like the girl that you like and likes you back. Ugh, I've been talking so much. Ugh, no.
many people operate from a scarcity mindset. They think they have limited options, so they try to make incompatible relationships work rather than continuing to look for someone who actually fits their criteria. This scarcity thinking creates desperation that clouds judgment. You overlook red flags because you're afraid you won't find anyone else. You compromise on important values because you think this might be your only chance at love.
Come on.
Business thinking eliminates this desperation by reminding you that there are thousands of people who could potentially be compatible with your requirements. Your job is to find one of them, not to convince someone incompatible to change their entire personality and life goals. Here's what happens when you start treating dating like business. You become much more selective about who gets your time and emotional investment. You stop wasting months trying to turn casual dating into serious relationships with people whose
Think it's almost a year now. What if it was all for nothing? Oh my lord. I guess we just move on.
goals don't match yours. You start asking direct questions early in the process. Do you want children? What are your career ambitions? How do you handle conflict? What does your ideal lifestyle look like? How do you manage money? What role does family play in your life? These conversations eliminate incompatible matches quickly, saving everyone time and emotional energy. The people who align with your values will appreciate your directness. The people who don't
Yeah, so you fumbled your own self.
will remove themselves from consideration. Here's the most important business principle to apply to relationships. Cut your losses quickly when the data shows incompatibility.
Yeah, you really gotta cut them, but you have to have a certain level of conviction and discernment to be able to do all of that. Because like you can just think, oh, I can work with this. You should cancel the I can work with this mindset. Yeah, but then the dreadful thing is like imagine looking and looking. So you shouldn't be afraid to just imagine looking and looking. Hmm. Yeah, the mental toll, all of this business looking for partners thing is gonna be insane.
In business, you don't keep investing in failing ventures, hoping they'll magically become profitable.
Mm.
You evaluate the evidence and make strategic decisions based on reality. But in relationships, people ignore obvious incompatibilities for months or years, hoping love will overcome fundamental differences. This emotional investment makes it harder to think clearly about whether the partnership is actually working. The psychology of sunk cost fallacy explains why people stay in
Ah,
incompatible relationships.
damn.
They think about all the time and energy they've already invested.
Yeah, think about the time and energy you already invested. There was a good times. Think about the good times. My lord, this is so mean.
And feel like leaving would waste that investment. But continuing to invest in something that isn't working wastes even more resources.
How do you know is it in working? How do you know it isn't working? Ah, man, this thing is whole too tough. It's like tough. It's a whole job and a half. It's not supposed to be this tough, is it?
Smart business people know that the time and money you've already spent is gone, regardless of what you do next.
Yeah, that one is, you're never getting that one back.
The only question that matters is whether continuing this partnership serves your future goals.
It does, but holy man, this thing is like calculus. I'm like, there's a lot of parallel processing and things to think about.
Here's what business minded dating looks like in practice. You spend the first few months gathering information about compatibility rather than trying to create emotional attachment. You observe patterns rather than focusing on other than continuing this partnership serves your future goals. Here's what business minded dating looks like in practice.
Okay.
You spend the first few months gathering information about compatibility rather than trying to create emotional attachment.
Oh,
You observe patterns rather than focusing on isolated incidents. You evaluate based on evidence rather than hoping for change. When
okay.
you discover fundamental incompatibilities, you address them directly and set clear timelines for resolution.
Oh, oh, I'm gonna forget all of this, but it's so important. Well, I want this in a relationship contract.
If someone cannot or will not meet your core requirements within a reasonable time frame, you end the relationship respectfully and continue looking
Wow.
for someone who can. This
Holy
isn't cold or calculating. This is strategic and respectful. You're not trying to force someone to be different than they are. You're simply acknowledging that you're not a good match and freeing both of you to find partnerships that actually work.
This is so brutal, bro. Just leaving? Oh, come back. Oh my lord. We can work it out. We've come this far. No?
The result is that you spend more time in relationships that add value to your life and less time in situations that drain your energy, compromise your goals,
Man,
and leave you feeling frustrated and unfulfilled. Here's the bottom
frustrated and unfulfilled story of my life. What the heck?
line about choosing partners like business. Everyone wants something different from relationships. Everyone has different values, goals, communication styles, and life priorities. There's nothing wrong with having specific requirements and standards. What's wrong is pretending you don't have requirements.
Yeah. We pretended those away. It's not like pretended, just like you told them, but didn't overimpose them and say it's like the way or you get cut off.
Accepting partnerships that don't meet your needs, and expecting love to overcome compatibility issues that love cannot actually solve. Business partnerships succeed because both parties know exactly what they're agreeing to and both parties get value from the
Wouldn't that be nice? Like it seems so enviable and something to look forward to wanting to have, but two people have to actually be in agreement of this thing and try to make it work.
arrangement. Personal relationships should work the same way. If this approach to dating feels too strategic or unromantic, ask yourself this: how's the emotional approach working out for you?
Cooked. Okay, the way you cooked down
How much time have you spent in relationships that didn't serve your long term goals?
a lot,
How much energy have you invested trying to change people who weren't compatible with your needs?
a lot.
Maybe it's time to try thinking like a successful business person instead of like a romantic movie character.
Bruh.
Subscribe for more strategic approaches to life decisions that most people make emotionally. And tell me in the comments what your non negotiable requirements are for a life partner. Your clarity might help someone else get honest about their own needs.
Yo,
Remember, you're not looking for someone perfect.
but isn't that you're not looking for someone perfect? What are you looking for? The most compatible?
You're looking for someone perfectly compatible with the life you want to build.
How with the life you want? Like where you want to go?
And that requires the same strategic thinking that builds successful businesses.
Okay, figure out
This is your brain.
the cause and values. and then work on their attraction and affection. Okay, cause values goals, core values and goals, what they want, where they're heading, how they are as a person and character. Okay, it's compatible with yours, and then after that we work on the attraction and affection. Yo, that seems so nice, but it's what's hilarious is that men respected Steph.
What if I told you?
I was reading the wrong comments. And that's because being in a relationship is a business decision. Oh, this video was amazing. I'm 36 and I wasted my life on the wrong people. I wish I had learned about this in my 20s. Yeah, if they teach this in school, a lot of nonsense in dating what would be made clear. It's like you dating to date or you dating to like choose something. I dated for a year or 4 seasons. We both finished our master's degree. Okay. Showing dedication, we married, taught, and learned from each other. Wow. We raised two amazing kids into successful adults. Then we retired rich from our mutual work. Is God telling me lies? But I wish this could be so me. I'm screenshotting this. Capture. Solid advice, but I wouldn't add that it's important to be open-minded and introspective with this approach. Differences in wanting children, financial money, and future goals are all very valid reasons to walk away. But if you're dating with the intention of meeting a true copy of yourself without ever asking if you can make room for another person's individuality and challenge yourself to rise to meet them, you just be falling back into the whole. Because, like, with the person you went with love, you found a lot of incompatibilities. So you challenge yourself to rise to meet them and hope that they also do to meet yours. Then you have this toxic cycle of putting yourself through dumb nonsense you didn't have to, though. You may find yourself in a dating loop, losing a lot of potentially wonderful connections that were considered incompatible and neglecting the extraordinary ability for humans to grow and evolve. I get you, but we have to avoid the sunken costs. Sometimes incompatibilities teach you a lot more about yourself. If your partner prefers distance and time to think during a conflict, and you prefer to resolve it as soon as possible, that is so me. It's an opportunity for both of you to learn about why they treat conflict the way they do and new ways to deal with it in life. Yeah, that's good. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. True. Really, are you going to find yourself with someone who fights like you, loves like you, talks like you, walks like you, and things like you? It would be so amazing because like things would be we both want the same thing. It's like carbon copy. I would be amazing with myself. I guess all this to say that the one of my non-negotiables is someone who isn't willing to allow differences and compatibilities to exist. Mm, nah. Mm, I agree with the points, but I still want to see the business thing put into actual work. I want to create a system like that. Mm, I would say the competitive aspect of the situation would be how they resolve conflict. Mm, I think it is here how people want the whole package, but they are not even a close way back. My voice is dying. I need to leave. God damn.